Oh, hello there, Internet. Thank you so much for joining me in this shoulder workout that I did bright and early this morning. This was a fantastic workout. If you followed along with any of my videos, you know that I've been trying to make my shoulder workouts feel more effective, more fun, harder, with a little bit more purposeful. And this one hit everything on the head perfectly. So for starters, for whatever reason, I felt really strong. So my first set, I got 77 pounds. I used my fractional plates, so I got 77 pounds times 7. And then I got 80 pounds times 5. And then my last set, I did 70 pounds times 9. So I'm really happy with those numbers because I've not been really plugging away at military press for a while. I took a bit of a hiatus there. And I looked back at one of my last days that I did the military press when I was still consistently doing it, like November-ish. And it was something like I did 80 pounds times 7 and then 77 pounds times 2 sets of 7. And that was the pretty much the last one since I started redoing it again. So, I mean, I'm almost back to my old numbers when I was at the strongest that I've ever been at the military press. And I've hardly been back at it, training it. And it felt really good. Like I felt in control of it. I felt strong. Felt like potentially that 80-pound set could have even been maybe a set of 6 if I had wanted to really go all in, arching my back or whatever. Obviously, I opted out of doing that because that's not really the goal. I kind of want to keep it as tight as I can. But it just felt so solid. So I'm really, really happy with those numbers. And then another thing that I typically have issues with is when I'm doing my pull-ups. Obviously now I'm doing the little fake gymnastic ring handle things. Early morning pull-ups, my sets usually suck. I just feel, for whatever reason, like, there are some exercises where fatigue impacts me more than others. You guys probably experience that too. Like, I could be tired, like, had a bad sleep, tired, fatigued, or whatever, and still be able to somehow progress or PR on, like, my Hatfield squats or other exercises. It's not as impacted. And then, but when it comes to pull-ups, if I'm anything other than like 100% capacity, they'll end up sucking. If my brain's not in it, I'll not be able to hit old reps. If I'm tired, if my body's crooked, if any of this kind of other stuff is going on, my pull-ups take a hit. There's other exercises like that too, where it just feels like the stars have to be aligned for it to go well, continue to progress, or whatever. For whatever reason, again, these pull-ups felt really, really good, despite the fact that it's really, really early in the morning. So it felt good on my body, no joint issues, no nothing, and I felt strong doing it, and I enjoyed doing it. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm tired, this sucks. So obviously really happy with that. Also, too, I did my incline dumbbell press today as well, and I've been struggling kind of to progress beyond the 35 pounds to get into the 40 pounds because my 35 pounds, I can get like higher rep sets, 9, 10, whatever. And then when I try to bump up to the 40, because I don't own 37.5s, I'm not going to buy 37.5s. I just don't want to have the storage or whatever. Take up the space, don't need them. But then I never am able to really get hardly any reps with the 40-pounders. So that kind of like bridging that gap, whatever. This time, though, I was able to get here 40 pounds times 2 sets of 6. I will note on my last rep here, I hit my mom's frickin' plant light over there. So I was only going to do 1 set of 40 pounds, but because of that, of course, I did 2 sets of 40 pounds times 6. Again, felt solid, felt stronger in them than I have in the past. And then I did a drop set of 35 pounds times 7 or whatever it was. Just finished off after this with a whole bunch of high rep lateral raises. Good mind muscle connection there, probably better than normal there as well. And my seated cable rear delt row, and then just some bicep curls. So like this workout, of course, it was just shy. It was shy of an hour, so it was like, I don't know, 53 minutes or something like that. It was perfect. This is all I could ask for. This is what I've been talking about. A workout that was worth getting out of bed for. Because if I'm going to make the effort to get up at 4:20 or whatever freaking time it is in the morning, I want to make sure that workout that I'm doing, and though at that time is, sorry, I'm tired. Now I'm tired. That workout is very, very purposeful. That workout does not have junk volume. Oh my gosh, I can't really talk. I keep saying that purpose. I want to say workout. Anyways, now I know what I'm talking about. I'm so sorry, everybody. This is catching up to me now. The 4 a.m. is catching up to me now. I apologize. But I think you know what I'm trying to say. It's even more important to me that when I'm getting up that early, that workout is structured and organized, and like the movements that I'm doing are not junk movements. You talk about junk volume, junk movements, where it's kind of like, I'm doing this movement and it takes some time and it takes some energy. It doesn't hurt, but I also don't know how effective it really is. You know, there's that kind of thing too. It's not even necessarily just adding junk volume to sets where exercises where you don't necessarily need that extra set or whatever it is, or doing too many high rep endurance things, whatever, like I've said about before. But it's also like picking the best movements that you know are more effective. So there's different ways to look at junk volume, and it's really, really important for me, and these workouts in particular, that I eliminate the junk volume, because it starts to make me upset, because I'm certainly a lot more rushed in these workouts. And if I know that I'm doing an exercise that I'm not fully convinced is the best choice for me, I'm not fully convinced that it's that effective, but I do it anyway, I start to get kind of like OCD about it. I get anxiety about it. I just think, why am I doing this? Let's get out of here. And so when I better pre-plan to pick movements already that I know are not a waste of time, it always goes so much better. And I know, that should just kind of go without saying, especially because, you know, I'm a certified personal trainer, not that it ever amounted to anything. But I'm also somebody with a lot of like lifting history that should just go without saying. But sometimes it's hard when you're kind of airy on the side of, I want to do more. And I live here. Like, this is my gym. It's so easy to just like see a piece of equipment and then start doing random crap that you don't need to do. And so I certainly do that, and I've done that, and I do it way too often. It's like almost too accessible sometimes. So then even if you do sort of plan some things, you think, oh, I got 3 minutes, so I'm going to just randomly do this thing for no reason. I really don't want to do that. And not only on these days, but any of the days, I don't really want to do that. And just pre-planning a little bit better kind of stops me from getting too OCD about things, where it's like, oh, this workout isn't long enough. Well, it's not about quantity. It's about quality. And lots of times I used to judge my workout based on if they were long enough or not. And it just seemed like it's longer, it's burning more calories, logically it's better. No, I don't think that way anymore. And I'm really, really trying to get out of that and just kind of like get in and get done. And in these situations, obviously, when it's this early in the morning, you don't really have a choice. But overall, I just feel so much better knowing that I've picked fewer movements that have more potential to actually do something and that feel better for me, versus just adding a whole bunch of unnecessary junk. So this, to me, this is exactly what I want a shoulder workout during the work week to be. And obviously I know that not every time I'm going to feel this strong, but for whatever reason, I felt really, really strong today. And so, anyways, sorry for the rambling and sorry for the misspeaking. As I said, I am quite tired. So, after this, I'm just going to watch some Grey's Anatomy and go to bed. But anyway, as I mentioned in a previous video, I said I was planning a trip for my son. This is a big deal for me. It's really getting me out of my shell, because I don't travel, I never do anything, and I never really like leaving my bed or my home or my gym. But throughout my son's entire life, I have always wanted to be able to give my son an experience, take my son on a trip. So yes, it's unfortunate that it took me this long. Now he's almost freaking 20 years old. It's kind of different. I don't know if he was like 7, just maybe the more awe of experience of a child excitement. But, this is when it happened. Better late than never. So if anybody cares, we're going to an island called Tofino. It's in BC. We're going to go whale watching. They promised humpbacks. And I planned a whole bunch of other things. I've organized it all. So I've booked the flights. I booked the hotel. I booked the whale watching. I'm trying to organize like travel things. There's like a Tofino bus, stuff like that. They have water taxis. I'm trying to pick out the different hiking trails and stuff that we're going to go on. It's not till June, but I like to be very, very organized. And it's a really big deal for me, because I am usually too scared to do this. Oh yeah, I also just wanted to show you guys some of my shoulder development. For whatever reason, my shoulders look more developed today than normal. So keep at it, everybody. It's worth it. Bye.